Hi there, Eve here from Vitamin Eve Nutrition Counseling. So if you hear that I'm congested, you're right. I am congested. I did contract coronavirus, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. But before I get started, I just want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel, for your comments, for your interaction. I love having you part of this world. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so you never miss a video. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is the loss of taste and smell that could accompany coronavirus or any cold or flu that you might deal with. And I want to share a little bit about my story of what happened with me and how I'm dealing with this really upsetting experience around the loss of taste and smell. So when it happened to me, at that point, I didn't even know I had the virus yet. I was eating food and I was just noticing that spicy wasn't hitting me the same way spicy usually does. You know, I could taste that something was going on, I could feel it, but I couldn't necessarily taste it. So I use that hardcore spicy stuff that they just give you like a small ounce of, you know, when you go to, a Mexican restaurant, and it just wasn't happening. I was still in denial. So later in that evening, I had Vietnamese food and still no dice. You know, I even used that packet of spicy sauce with the little chili peppers in it and still couldn't taste anything. In fact, by then, my taste buds weren't even reacting anymore. And I was so upset. I was so upset that I was losing my sense of taste. And by then, I figured out what was going on, that I had coronavirus. And so I was upset. I was in the shower and I was just feeling so down. I was feeling so sad for myself. I mean, not only because I was sick and there's so many unknowns about this virus and the course it takes in the body, I was also dealing with the loss of taste, of the sense of smell and taste, especially when it was part of my work. You know, part of what I do is help people enjoy their food and indulge, and you all know that I love that so much. So when I was in the shower, as a last ditch effort to taste something, and in my sadness and grief, I actually took the bar of soap, Dial, the hardcore stuff, and I licked it. And I licked it because it was my way to confirm to myself that I couldn't taste. I'm not recommending that you do this. This was just me in my sadness trying to taste something, and sure enough, nothing. And I was so sad. I was just standing in the shower, fighting back tears as the water was pouring on my body. The hot water was pouring on my body, and I was just standing there so sad. And, asking, how am I going to deal with this loss? I really, as we all do, really enjoy food and the sensory aspect of it. And as I stood there, a few things fell into my consciousness. I realized that there still was a lot to enjoy of food, what it looks like and the textures and the temperatures, that was still there for me. And I also got to feel really grateful that, I'm dealing with a potentially deadly virus and I have a lot of resources available to deal with it. So a sense of gratitude also came in. And also allowing myself to feel grief. There is a deep grief in losing a sense or two in this case. So I allowing myself to feel the depth of my grief, my upset, my frustration and irritation of, again, not only being sick, but also not being able to enjoy my food in the same way. I realized something very profound for me in that, this body is just a loner. Eventually, I'm going to have to give back all my senses or whatever's going to happen, and eventually I'm going to not be able to do a lot of things, even more. And so it brought forth an even more profound sense of acceptance for not only, having this virus, not only, but also what's going on in my life. And so I just wanted to share this with you. I just wanted to share this with you because I also wanted to destigmatize getting the virus, I got sick, and if anybody else out there is sick or has a loved one who is sick and who's dealing with the loss of taste and smell, I just want to, wrap my arms around you and let you know that I'm here. It sucks. I know it's so hard. And also let you know that you're not alone. So many people are also struggling. I've talked to many friends, clients, colleagues who are also dealing with this, and unfortunately for them, because they're not anticipating this feeling of grief or the impact that such a experience has of losing your sense of taste and smell, people are feeling so sad, so upset, that they're actually going to even more food. You know, it's interesting. In some cases, because people can't taste or smell, they're not as interested in food. They're just eating it mechanically just to get full, to feed their bodies. But oftentimes, people are feeling so devastated by not being able to smell or taste that to deal with their sadness and their grief, they're actually even eating more food. They're eating emotionally to deal with it, and still getting overfull and uncomfortable, but even more regretful because they didn't even enjoy the food the way they once had. And so I just want to let you know, and sometimes one person is doing both of these things, you know? So I just want to throw it out there to let you know that if this happens to you, that there is some sadness to deal with, and that's okay. Hopefully, you know, there's a high likelihood of the sense of taste and smell coming back. And that's the best news of all. You know, my taste buds did start to react to spicy food. I need to calm down. My skin is starting to get irritated because I'm trying so hard to taste something. But yeah, there's a strong likelihood that the sense of smell and taste will come back again. I hope that's us. I hope that's me. I hope that's you. But in the meantime, I hope these tips have been helpful. The tips of, you know, provide yourself with sensory variety when you're feeding yourself, the colors, the shapes, the textures, the temperatures, that really helps. But also allowing yourself to feel grief that this sense is lost, giving yourself that space, that permission to be sad that you lost two senses in this case, and on top of it, you're dealing with a potentially deadly virus. Also reminding you of gratitude that hopefully we're surviving this virus together. And although hopefully we'll survive this virus, we're not going to survive this life. You know, eventually this is all gone. Sorry to be so morbid, but there is still, you know, other aspects of life to take pleasure in and enjoy. There's more to life than food. I'm not just reminding you, I'm reminding myself. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please share in the comments below what you got out of this video. If you also had to deal with the sense, or if you're still dealing with the sense of the loss of sense of smell and taste, I want to hear about your experience. Feel free to share below. It's heartbreaking, and so I'm here with you. And if you haven't done so already, I invite you to subscribe because I'd love to have you as part of my community. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.